Wagwan, everyone. I hope you're doing well. As you can see, a little bit of a difference here. The angle's changed. I bought myself a new laptop stand. I'm like trying to increase the production value of this and also trying to increase the content value. Here we are back again with another video here on Tariq Talks. I hope you're all doing good. I hope you've all had a good Tuesday. Second day of the week. Gets a bit tougher towards this part. We're aiming towards hump day for those of you working at school, if you're back at school, if you're at college, whatever you are, whatever you're doing. Hope you've had a good day. Here in the UK, which is where I'm based, it is boiling. That's why you can see the shine on my forehead. Like my whole face looks nice and greasy. But yeah, it's boiling in here. So I'm not going to say I'm wearing grey as well. You know, the sweat patches are going to be coming soon. But yes, this is just the start of the video. This is your usual start where I just go on and talk about whatever. But yes, currently I'm hot. I went to the gym nice and early again, as I did yesterday, because I get to work on these videos a lot more when I do go to the gym in the morning, and I'm really enjoying it. Thank you for your support, people. We've got 2 people here before I go further into this. Early gang from Ed. Nice to see you there, bro. Thank you for joining. And it's going to be an interesting one. I want you to all leave your comments, get interacting with me as I go through this video. But yeah, the international break has been boring. Guys, let me know your thoughts, who's supporting, and let me know where you're watching from. Please put it in the comments below. I get interested and I actually get really excited to see where you guys are. But yes, as you can see from the title, this is my Premier League prediction video. If you have been here for a while and you've seen the previous videos on this channel, I did do a Premier League prediction video before the season kicked off, before Arsenal played the first game of the season in a 2-0 defeat to Brentford. I gave a prediction video, but I did say once the transfer window closes, I will be doing another one. So here it is. Transfer windows close. We're in an international break. I've got time. There's no games to talk about. I'm not going to talk about England versus Andorra. I don't really care about that. So I'm looking forward to some Premier League football. I think England play the last game tomorrow against Poland. Once that's done, I'm back on FPL, Premier League, watch-alongs, all coming back, and I'm looking forward to it, guys. So let's get my prediction video kicked off. So the structure of this is 20th to 1st. I'm going to give reasons for and against for each team and for why I put them into that position. For the 4, that is my reason. And against is I fully understand that they may not finish there, and I'll give the against points as well that you guys might go and argue instead. I will also give their key player and their breakthrough player. So, the key player is someone that the team is going to be relying upon throughout the season to really kick them forward and make them finish in that position or beyond. And the breakthrough player is a player that I think that you guys should watch and keep an eye on for this season. Tend to be a young player or a player that just hasn't reached their potential and they've still got that next level to go, in my opinion. And then also right at the end, I'll give you my top goal scorer. But before I go on further, I've got another comment from Ed. Andorra was a strange game. Bellingham was honestly outstanding, but the game itself was dead as normal. Yeah, England games in qualifiers, it's what you expect really. Even in England games in the tournaments, we're not playing the most fantastic football, even though the Euros was amazing. Cream Bone, yes, T-Money. How is it, big man? I'm good, Wilfred. Nice to see you. For you guys who don't know, Cream Bone is one of the people that one of the friendly, lovely gooners that I speak to almost every day. So yeah, nice to see you here, man. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're keeping good and looking forward to the weekends, or dreading it, because I know you're an Arsenal fan. Ed's giving you a big shout out there as well. Yes, Greenbone. I hope you're doing good. Let's make friends. You know what? You too, friends. But yes. Also, I forgot to mention, I will be doing a reaction video at the end of the season, and I will pick. And you know what? I was going to pick a forfeit, but you guys in the comments after this video, let's not do it now in the live interaction, because after this video, I want to keep hold of them. And I want you guys to give me a forfeit, yeah, if I get 11 plus positions wrong. So 10 or more, basically. If I get, not 10 or more, 11 or more. Any more than 10 I get wrong, forfeit. You guys have to think of it. And I definitely will do this forfeit. Okay. Yeah. You know what? Make it as interesting as you want. I will do it. I'm not afraid. Yeah. I can handle spice. I think I can do anything. Yeah. Just let me know. I'm up for it. And it'll be a good laugh as well. So yes, don't forget to leave them in the comments below at the end. So let's get into the video. Hopefully I'm having all right connection. It says here I'm having connection problems. I have struggled with my connection today. Every time I try and go into the studio, there is issues. So if you guys do see, please let me know. Please say if there's any lag or anything behind. So yes, it'll be nice to see. Here we go. Just using the BBC Sport Premier League prediction table. Once again, we're going to go from 20th to 1st. And without further ado, I'm going to start off and we're going to go for in 20th position. Let me know who you guys are going to think is going to finish rock bottom of the Premier League. For me, I have picked Norwich City. In my first video, I picked Watford. But for me, from what I've seen from Norwich, they have had a difficult start, though. They did have Liverpool at home, Manchester City away, and Leicester at home. And they've lost all 3 games. They are just 1 goal difference above Arsenal at this moment in time. But the main reasons why I've picked Norwich is I don't think they have enough goals from their strikers. Timu Pukki is not really at the level for me that's required to keep Norwich up. He did have a good season last time they were in the Premier League, but I can't really see him replicating that. A lot of the goals did come early on towards the season, where they even still got relegated and he didn't score enough goals. I don't even think that he will score that many. They do also concede a lot of goals too. The defence isn't a strong point in theirs. I do think their team is more built for the Championship in terms of the style. They did go down and keep a lot of the players that they got relegated with. They built back up and then got here, but they haven't reinvested in that squad anywhere near enough. And a big thing about that as well, they have lost their key creative source, their outlet in Emi Buendia, who went to Aston Villa, not replaced him with, well, they may have replaced him with a level of player of the similar level, but for me, it's not enough. And with the likes of Milot Rashica, the signings that they've made aren't proven. They haven't been proven even at the levels that in the leagues that they respectively played in, like the likes of Josh Sargent. Christos Zolis, who's a very young player, he has performed quite well and decently in the Greek league. He should be one of the players for you to watch. He's not my key player or breakout player for Norwich, but yeah, risky signings. Emi Buendia, big loss. However, they do have a good manager in Daniel Farke, so I can see them progressing and maybe finishing 18th. I don't think they will stay up at all this season. Also, they do have high potential players with the likes of Max Aarons, Cantwell and Billy Gilmore. So yes, they are in rock bottom for me. The key player for them, if they are going to have a better season or fight against relegation, is Milot Rashica. He's going to have to produce the form that he put out in Werder Bremen in the 19-20 season, scoring 8 goals and having 7 assists. But the breakthrough player, and one that I think you will all know and then you should keep an eye out for, is Billy Gilmore. So before I go into the next one, let's have a look at a few of your comments. Tishi saying, dye your hair blue. Wow. I like that one. That's a big shout. My bottom 3, Norwich, Burnley and Watford. And hello to Gillian. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing well, Mom. But yeah. Into the next part of the video is Watford. And I have put them in 19th. I haven't shown it here. I'm going to put them there. Watford. Ed, you've called it as well. For me, Watford in 19th. I do think that their midfield is probably their worst part of their game in terms of positioning. They do have a poor midfield. The quality in there, I know they've signed the likes of Nusa Sissoko. Don't think that's the type of player you want to be building your team around in the Premier League, to be having to fight for survival. He's not that type of player for me. So yeah, I have gone for Musa Sissoko Watford in 19th for that. They don't have much depth at the centre-back position. A lack of Premier League experience with their strikers, and the only striker that they do have who has Premier League experience is Josh King, who is very injury prone and has proved to be injury prone in the last few seasons. However, they do have a lot of Premier League experienced players with the likes of Ben Foster in goal, who's a backup goalkeeper who's not really playing, who starts for them anymore. Cisco Munoz doesn't start with him, so I can't really add him there. But they have had the likes of Craig Cathcart, who's kept them up when they played there, when they stayed up. Adam Messina, who plays at left back. Josh King, who's another one. Musa Sissoko, so they do have quite a few players in there that have previous experience in the Premier League. However, another part is their creative wingers, Ismail Assar and Ken Sema. They are very good and they are very dangerous in going forward for Watford. And their strikers, I know they don't have much Premier League experience, but in the leagues that they have played in, they do have good records. So maybe that they can perform and settle and all adapt into the Premier League quite well. The key player for Watford is Ismail Assar, which most of you guys know from their win against Aston Villa, where they have registered their 3 points. Their only 3 points was against Aston Villa, and they needed a good performance there, good start to the season, and Ismail Assar was key to that. And if they are going to have a chance of staying up, that's what you got to expect for them, and they're going to be relying on him a lot. Breakthrough player, João Pedro. I think this is time for him to shine. He will get the opportunities. He's a starter for Watford, so it's going to be interesting to see how he does. So yes, for me, João Pedro is the breakthrough player and Watford in 19th. Before I move forward as well, there's nice to see you, Fadsley. Hope you're doing good. Hope you're having a great day, and hope you're just keeping well. Burnley will never go down. Sean Dyche will save them again. Okay, I do see that. And I will go into my 18th team. You've gone for Newcastle there. My hot take from Ed is Dyche leaves Burnley this season. Okay, so do you think that he'll leave midway through the season? Let me know. Newcastle is not a bad shout, however. Bruce may be the worst manager in the league. Ben Forster, not a keeper anymore. He's a YouTuber now. I do know that you mean Ben Foster. And Arsenal's a shout 18. I know you're trolling. You've got to be. To be honest, Arsenal's start is likely making people think the worst, but where they are really going to end up out of top 10. When was the last time that happened? Exactly. You preach to them, Ed. And Creebone, good shot for bottom 3. Oh, good shout. I think that's what you meant to say. And in 18th position, for me, I did go with Burnley, Fadsley. You'll be sad to hear. I did go with Burnley in my first prediction video. However, I've changed that now. Now that the transfer window's closed, it is not Burnley anymore. And for me, it's your shout, Newcastle. And one of the reasons they have nowhere near much of no improvement from the squad that they had last season. The players that they do have, who they are going to be relying upon. I can't speak English today. Apologies for that. The players that they have that they will be relying upon are injury prone. And I definitely don't think Joe Willock will maintain that form that he had towards the end of last season, which really helped Newcastle fight and escape out of the relegation fight. Scoring like 8 goals in 8 games consecutively. Yeah, I don't see that happening. And he was coming off the bench in some of those games too. Yeah, Joe Willock, even if he proves to be successful at Newcastle, he won't be maintaining that sort of level. And it's going to be interesting to see how Newcastle perform, how their key players will. And they do have a proven Premier League manager, so they could fight out and get out of that division. I know Ed doesn't rate him. He thinks he's one of the worst managers, but he has kept Newcastle up already. They do play a counter-attacking system, which suits the squad profile with the amount of defenders, the wing-backs that they have, the central midfielders, the fact that the central midfielders like Joe Willock do have very good pressuring numbers. Defensively, they stay switched on. They can maintain their shape quite well. And then their attackers, with the likes of Alan St-Maximin, Callum Wilson on the break, can be very deadly. And yet another reason is they have a proven Premier League striker who is also the key player that they're going to be relying upon to keep them in the Premier League, and that is Callum Wilson. It's all about keeping this guy fit. We know his injury record has not been the greatest previously at Newcastle or at Bournemouth. So yeah, it's going to be important for Newcastle to keep him fit. And a breakthrough player for me is Alan St-Maximin. I know that's kind of a bit of like, all right, he's already a good player. Everybody knows that. You could have put him as a key player. But for me, I do think that Alan St-Maximin does have another level to go to and go up to, as he still is a young player. He's 23, 24. So he's still got growth into his game, and he's starting to make the right decisions a lot more. He's causing problems against opposition teams last season. I remember the first game of the season, West Ham struggled. So for me, I don't think it will be enough, though. Steve Bruce, they can't be relying upon those two players. They do pick up injuries, and when they do get injured, or when one of them just gets injured, the other's left isolated. So I don't see the attacking depth or the quality going forward. Likes of Almiron as well, very streaky player. So I don't see them staying up. So those are the three teams that I have going down. In the middle of the table, I'm not going to spend too long on this. I'm just going to give my reasons, and then we're going to go up and then give my reasons against key player and breakthrough, because I think it's important to list the bottom three, and that is my confirmed bottom three. Guys, if you are new and you are watching, we've got 7 people here. Let me know your confirmed bottom three, who you think is going to finish in the bottom 3 at the end of the Premier League season. And whilst I do that, and whilst you guys put yours through, I'm going to be having a look at your guys' comments. John Joe Shelby shouldn't be starting CM in the PL. Yes, in the Premier League. I don't think he should be. Is he going to be starting for them much? I don't think that Steve Bruce does play him a lot of games. He has missed quite a few games last season too. Creambone, harsh on Bruce. Genuinely think he's underrated. Look at what he has to work with. Yeah, it's a good shout, Creambone. I think he gets a lot of abuse and criticism from Newcastle fans as well. Too much, from my opinion, given that he has kept a lot of teams up. When he was at Sunderland, he kept them up. He didn't keep Birmingham up when he was their manager. He had quite a good spell at Hull too. So yeah, I do think Steve Bruce is underrated just because he doesn't play the most attractive football. He's not the most attractive man either. No offense to Steve Bruce if you are watching. It's just you're not aesthetically pleasing. You know, you're not wearing the suits, or you have the hair like Mikel Arteta, or the frame of Pep Guardiola. No offense. He has had a lot of experience, and you know what? Fair to him, he's enjoying his life. He enjoys his kebabs too. I can tell you going to put Chelsea or City to be the champion. Fadsley, I think most people have this season. Maybe I've gone for a rogue shout. You'll have to wait and see. Make sure you stay tuned in, Fadsley. But yeah, who's your champion? Put your comments in as well. We'll get into them a lot more and a lot further as I go into the video. Possibly he seems like a lovely fella, but he doesn't seem to have a plan to even he doesn't seem to have a plan even with limited players he has. Fadzi, Gucci headband, Alan St. Max, man, you know it with a Gucci headband. Yo, swaggy, stylish player. That's what you want to see. That's what you want. Yeah, and he's got the end product and the ability to show for it. He has got the Gucci football. Yeah, Fadzi. Like the video, people. Big shout, Ed. Thank you for that. Please do like the video. Let's get the likes up. All of you watching, come on, you can leave a like for me. But yes, is Tierney injured? Is he going to start against Norwich? Can't believe I'm considering him in my FPL. I do think that Tierney is a good shout. I think Arsenal defenders are a good shout generally over the season. Unless you see a difficult fixture period like we have had at the start. I wouldn't go for an Arsenal player then. But we will tend to keep a lot more clean sheets than people and Arsenal fans seem to make out. Don't follow everything you see on social media. Arsenal fans do like to go a bit overboard. We're not going to finish bottom. I expect that we will start to pick up points as the games get through, as players start to get fit. So yeah, I would pick Tierney. Tierney's a good shout. Gets you attacking returns too. Bruce mannerisms and demeanour make him an easy target, to be honest. Yeah, exactly. The way he speaks in press conferences. And Creambone, Man United, my outside bet for the title. I remember you put that in the previous video. So yes, interesting Creambone. If any of you agree with him, you know what? Give a shout. Let me know what you think. Anyone watching afterwards, let me know if you think Man United are going to win the title this season. As I'll go into this team now, as we are 20 minutes into the video, so we're not too far in. We've got plenty of time to go. But the team that I do think that will finish outside of the relegation zone is Burnley. A massive reason for that, their squad is aging. They don't really recruit that well. And when I mean recruit that well, they don't really put much investment and time into the recruiting in their squad. However, they do have a Premier League proven manager and squad to bat and counteract that. They have played together for a long time now. They do have that chemistry and they do have that togetherness that is important for the Premier League. I don't think that gets spoken about a lot in football because as fans, we like to look at the players' technical ability and what they bring to the team from an aspect where we just literally watch them on the pitch. However, that is really that camaraderie for Burnley really has done them well, and I have moved them up. I did see them pick up a point against Leeds, thought they were impressive against Liverpool too, and I thought I'd change my mind and say that Burnley will finish not comfortably, but outside the relegation zone. Also, another reason for is Tarkowski's leaving at the end of the season. Anyone who's a fan of him, go, you know what? Would you want your team to sign him? Guessing for the teams like yours, Ed, Wolves, Spurs, he could be a decent centre-back at Spurs under a Nuno system, I believe. Everton, those middling clubs. I mean, you could probably put Arsenal there now too. But yeah, those types of teams in those positions outside of the Europa League, European places, in and about, yeah, let me know if you would like the likes of James Tarkowski there. But yeah, against why they could finish further up the table, as I previously said, the manager, the squad, the experience they have, and also a big key part is the goals that they do score from their strikers, and in particular, who's their key player for me, Chris Wood. So yes, in 16th position, I have gone for just above them is Southampton. A lot of people have predicted them to have a bit of an iffy season. It might be some people's outside choice for them to get relegated. I do think they have had a decent start to the season, picking up 2 points in a draw against Manchester United and Newcastle in a last-minute penalty from James Ward-Prowse. They have lost multiple key players with the likes of Danny Ings, who's gone to Aston Villa, Vestergaard and Bertrand both going to Leicester, and that is massive for the team like Southampton. Why they did have such a good start was they were their three big players in that. Danny Ings scoring as many goals as he did, Vestergaard being the presence at the back and that commanding force, and Ryan Bertrand is that consistent, 6, 7 out of 10 fullback, doesn't dip below that usually. And yeah, the signings that they have and the recruitment that they have made is a bit risky. It is unproven signings, young players with the likes of Tino Livramento, Roman Perraud, who's a left back who they signed from Stade Brest, or is it Stade Brest or Brutois? I think it is. Yeah. Armando Broja from Chelsea on loan, and Adam Armstrong from the Championship. So yeah, interesting signings. A lot of ceiling with that one. They do have a quite high ceiling given the fact that they were cheap as well in risks, and low risk in terms of the transfer fee, but in terms of keeping their Premier League status, it is quite risky to be playing, putting your trust in those players. However, they do have a top manager to keep them up, and that's why I haven't gone for them to get relegated. I do think their team is good enough. Their starting 11 is good enough to keep themselves away from that relegation zone. They will pick up points. They'll even pick up the odd point against a decent team, like we saw against Manchester United. And yeah, against where they could even finish further up the league table, proven history of recruiting well. Southampton consistently recruit players. They let them go, bring them back. Liverpool fans, you may know, you've had a lot of their players over the years, but they keep bringing them back. So yeah, and they've also kept James Ward-Prowse, who's one of their key players, who actually won them a point against Newcastle, yes. So yeah, for me, key player, Adam Armstrong, and the breakthrough player, Tino Livramento. I've been waxing lyrical about this guy, having pressed. I have seen him, and from what I've saw from him in the first game against Everton, he was adapted so well, such a young player of the season for Chelsea's academy last year, and a loss for Chelsea in my opinion, but yeah, a gain for Southampton, and one that they could end up selling for like 30, 40 million. Before I carry on, we do have quite a few comments in here, and I want to make sure that I get through them and don't get lagged behind, because this is what it's all about, interaction for me. United to top 3, Liverpool 4th for sure. Okay, that's interesting. Chelsea and City second, first and second. Okay, so you've gone for Chelsea to win the league there. Fadsley, they got Maxwell Cornet. That's not even a signing Burnley usually make. Yeah, it's true. Cornet scored against City in the UCL. He did. I remember that one in where they beat Man City, and yeah, in that shock victory, and he scored quite a good goal. Like, he really curled it as well past Edison. Yeah, it's a weird type of signing. They don't usually sign. How do I put this now? Players outside of the UK, if you know what I mean. Yeah, they don't really sign. I know Aaron Lennon is. They've signed one of them as well. You know what I mean? Well, one of them. I can't be saying it like that. You know what I mean? It's my own people. But yeah. You know what I mean? You know how. But it's interesting to see how he's going to react, and living in Burnley, where he surely can't be living in Burnley. He's coming from Lyon to Burnley. Yeah, interesting. He can't be living there. He's going to be living in Manchester. It's going to be interesting to see how he adapts into that squad. Breakthrough player has to be McNeil. Did I go through the breakthrough player? And you are right, Fadsley. I forgot to put him in, but yes, Dwight McNeil is my breakthrough player for Burnley. Thank you for putting him in. Thank you for reminding me. This is why you are here, and this is why I went into the comments. Tarkowski and me are good, solid CBs that would improve most teams up to the top 7. Yeah, I do agree they are solid. I also believe that the system that they do play in really gets the best out of them, where Sean Dyche is really low block, where the defenders are making blocks and they are defending from deep, where they're not being exposed athletically in behind. I do think it benefits them a lot. So maybe they would play in a top 7 team, if maybe in a Nuno team with the way that he plays, but I can't really see them playing for like an Arsenal who are trying to play a more expansive, well, not from what we've seen, but yeah, a more possession-based game, if you know what I'm saying. But yeah, if you are trying to look into playing the counter-attack, they are good, solid defenders. They are. And, you know, maybe one of them should have had an England call-up. I think the fact that they play for Burnley is a big downer for them. But in 15th, I have gone for Brentford, the newly promoted side. From the reason why I put them so high, they are one of the best run clubs in the world. In the fact that they're in the Premier League with the money that they make, they've not had that much investment, not of the likes of, you know, with the likes of Newcastle when they came, they produce and they generate a lot of revenue. Watford had a lot of investment. Norwich, they've had not a lot of investment either, but a lot more compared to what Brentford have had. And the recruitment and the buying and selling and the money ball system that they have used has got them up to the Premier League, where they have looked impressive. They've got, 5 points actually. They're undefeated start to the season. They do have a good mix of experience and youth in their squad. You've got the likes of Pontus Jansson as the leader. You've got Ethan Pinnock in there at the back as well, with a younger centre-back with Christopher Aguirre there too. Sergi Canos, Rico Henry with that middle age for footballers, you know what I mean? Not middle age and like 50, but yeah, that 23 to 27 bracket, they've got them there. You've got Matthias Jensen, who's that 20s in that same bracket. You've got young players like Mbuemo. You've got good strikers like Ivan Toney, a good striker, should I say. They don't really have much squad depth. That's the only problem for Brentford. However, I do think that the manager, Thomas Frank, progressive manager, that's the type of manager you want to see in this league. If he can really prove himself, maybe he'll get a more lucrative job higher up in the league, maybe a top 8 team or a team looking to break into that. If he proves himself to be good enough, you know, the likes of Dean Smith, who's really proven himself to be a good Premier League manager, has been at Brentford and gained a career and left Brentford to go to Aston Villa straight after that, I do believe. So yeah, interesting to see that. But however, they do have a lack of Premier League experience in that squad, which could see them finish lower down if they get through the tough times and they have a low dip of confidence, and tough results or tough run of fixtures may affect their squad a bit more due to the lack of experience. And they do have a similar squad to last season, which, you know, is unproven in the Premier League. So it's going to be interesting to see how they do cope with that. I do think that the manager and the players and the quality of players that they have recruited will easily manage them through, and I see them in that mid-table position. Key player for me, Ivan Toney, and the breakthrough player that you guys need to keep an eye on is Josh Da Silva. If I was to like him to a player that is in the Premier League already, I would say the likes of Tanguy Ndombele, of dribbling, aggressive style, really tries to break through the lines, has a good shot on him as well. So yeah, Josh Da Silva, keep your eye out for him. In 14th position, I will go for Brighton, the team that I do like. I do have keep an eye on Brighton because I really do like their style of football and their manager. They have had one of the best defensive records in the league last season and created one of the teams that created the most chances too. Expected position, you probably heard me chat about this a lot. They had an expected finish of 6th, given the chances that they created, the amount, and their defensive record. They just didn't have the strikers to put them away, which could be their Achilles heel. Another reason why I expect them to have a good season, keeping a player like Yves Bissouma, a transformational midfielder. If they missed him for a long period of time, as they might do in the African Cup of Nations, but maximum 3 games, three games, including the FA Cup too. So I don't think it will derail their season, even if they do make it all the way to the final. But for me, the big reason why they are there, they have one of the best managers in the league. Arsenal fans, let me know what you think, but I wouldn't mind having Graham Potter as a replacement for Arteta if it didn't work out. He's probably my number one choice. And yeah, I'm putting it out there. I love Graham Potter, the way he's played, how much he's really squeezed out of this Brighton squad, how he's kicked them forward and kicked them on from just a team that's fighting against relegation where Chris Hughton left and they sacked him. There was a lot of scrutiny for that sacking, but they have kicked on, moved forward with Graham Potter, who's already beaten Arsenal a few times. He beat at Brighton and at Östersunds as well. So give a lot of credit to Graham Potter there. I would take him at Arsenal. For me, their key player is Bissouma, as long as I keep him fit. And he really is a key cog in that machine defensively and going forward. He does a lot for that. And the player that I say that you will need to look out for Brighton, hold up, give me 1 second. I'm sure I've got it written down here. The key player for Brighton, the key player is Bissouma, but the breakthrough player that I want you to keep an eye on is Enoch Nwepu. It's going to be an interesting season for him. See if he can come in and make a partnership with Bissouma. So Enoch Nwepu, he will come in and sign for 23 million. It's quite a bit of a shell out for a team like Brighton in a COVID pandemic market. It's going to be interesting to see how they do cope with that as their new signing. And in 13th position, a team that had the best transfer window in my eyes is Crystal Palace. Excellent summer signings. They've improved and they've made improvements in all areas, defence, midfield, and up front with the likes of Edouard, Elise, and Mark Gahey and Joachim Andersen. I do think they've improved that centre-back pairing. However, they have had a big turnover in their squad. It's going to be interesting to see. Interesting to see how they cope with that. Losing big Premier League players with the likes of Gary Cahill, Patrick Van Aanholt. Who else? You guys let me know if I'm missing anyone. But yeah, inexperienced manager with Patrick Vieira too. How are they going to cope there? Minimal squad depth. They don't really have much squad depth, having lost so many players. Andros Townsend, who's another one that come off the top of my head. So yeah, key player for them though, Wilfred Zaha, as he always is. And the breakthrough player, Michael Elise, you guys are going to love him. If you're someone who's a football purist and you love to see attacking flair, creativity, skills that make you want to stand up out your seat and go lean forward, and things that you try to do in the playground, that's what Michael Elise will bring. So it's going to be interesting there. Before I move on into the just outside of Europe positions, I'm going to go into the comments right here, see what you're saying. Where did I get up to? Ben Mee. Oh, here we go. Ben Mee has talked so well regarding the kick it out and taking the knee stance at the club after Burnley fans have gone against it openly. Impressed me that was very brave, and that did show good leadership from Ben Mee there. I do agree with you. That's why he's the captain, and that's why he's a mainstay and consistently played as many games as he had in the Premier League too. So yeah, big shout out to Ben Mee for doing that. Don't you dare put Brentford above Brighton. You know what? I didn't do it, Fadsley. You'll be happy to hear that. Yes, I wouldn't put Brentford above Brighton. I do really like Brighton. I've said that quite a few times too. Brentford will be found out to a certain extent, I am thinking, but Brighton are my outside bet for the Europa League place. Interesting. I don't see them finishing that high, unfortunately, because they do lack in that striking department. They didn't make that signing that they needed. Paul Onuachu, that's who they should have got, and then maybe they could have finished out in the Europa League spot, maybe above Arsenal. Really rate Graham Potter. I'm glad you agree. Everton will finish 10th or 11th. Like always, they get a good start. Like last season, we thought they could challenge for the UCL, and they end up worse than Leeds. Interesting shout. I do see the logic in that, Fadsley. Thank you for saying that, because we will be getting on to Everton quite soon. 10th or 11th. Good shout, that one. Creambone. My guy Wilfred, I hear you, T, with regards to Graham Potter, but it would be like for like with Arteta. Do you think so? I don't think so. I I think you're giving Arteta a bit too much credit there. When Arteta came in, and he still is an inexperienced manager, everything that he's dealt with, he's not his first and only football managerial job has been at Arsenal, whereas Graham Potter has now managed in the Premier League and previously he's managed Östersunds, and where he's really overachieved for a club of the size of Östersund. The fact that we played them, not even that they beat us, the fact that we played them is an achievement in their eyes, and that is through Graham Potter really getting the best out of these types of players. So why don't you think that Graham Potter couldn't get the best out of Kolasinac, Rob Holding, Chambers? He's got the best out of Shane Duffy, and you wouldn't want Shane Duffy at Arsenal, would you? I know some people would say about Lewis Dunk, but he's got the best out of Lewis Dunk. Adam Webster, Dan Burn playing at left back, Solly March, Aaron Connolly, Neil Maupay, and he's done that, and he's made them look like an impressive unit and caused them problems against sides like Arsenal, Manchester United in the second game of the season. So I'll give a lot of credit for Graham Potter. Wilf, I always agree with you, and I always do have a lot of love for you, but I do think that he's better than Arteta. I know I spent too long. I could be talking about Graham Potter all day. Palace are just not Zaha only these days. Eze, Elise, Zaha, Edward now. Yeah, they've got a lot of technical ability and a lot of creative outlets there. Do agree with you. There you go, Fadsley. You've said it there. Elise, Zaha, Eze, 5-star skill players here. You play your FIFA. You know what, Fadsley? We're gonna have to have a game of FIFA. FIFA 22 when it comes out. Let's get it started. Yeah. You know what I think about Vieira? He's always going to do well at Palace. He's going to do well at Palace. The right kind of team for him. Would you take him at Arsenal? We're going to have to really see how he does at Palace first before we can really answer those questions. So, yeah. And you've just joined in, Grace. Hello. Hope you're doing good. Hope you've had a good day, whatever you've done. What's it like up on Teesside? That's what I was meant to say. Yeah, getting too hot, flustered in here. I'm sweating. Apologies for that. But yes, I'm going for in 12th position now. This might be a bit of a surprise for you guys, given how they performed last season. I've gone for Leeds. I've gone for that bit of that second season syndrome for Leeds. I don't think that they will have the type of second season syndrome with the likes of Sheffield United and Huddersfield, where they eventually get relegated after having a good season relative to those clubs. I do think that they will struggle a bit more. Teams will find them out. Teams have a lot more analysis on how they play in the Premier League and how they have fared against better teams or teams that play a different formation or different style of play, if you really can attack Leeds, which is partly why they haven't picked up a win this season, I believe. However, they do have Marcelo Bielsa, who could push them up further. He really just squeeze, and talking about Graham Potter and how he squeezes everything out of the players, Marcelo Bielsa does do that. They do have some quality players in there, the likes of Patrick Bamford, Rafinha, Calvin Phillips, Ilham Meslier. I do think Robin Koch is another player to watch out for. And speaking of Rafinha, he's my key player. And also, speaking of Robin Koch, he's my breakthrough player. Guys, he's a German international centre-back, young too, 23, 24. Keep your eye out for him. I think he would have impressed you last season if it wasn't for that big injury he sustained in December. So we didn't really see much of him or him closer towards his best. So, yeah, Robin Koch, I think he'll be a good centre-back for Leeds and maybe get a move elsewhere, higher up the league. The fact that he's a technical centre-back too would fairly suit him to be playing for a more progressive team. Maybe Manchester City decide to sign him and get rid of Nathan Ake. Is that my little prediction for the future? Well, that's not to do with this video. But now into the top 11th position. I know we're 40 minutes in, and then we're going to get towards the best, the best teams. But here we are in 11th. And that team for me, top of the bottom half of the table, is Wolverhampton Wanderers. Yes, Wolves to finish above Leeds for me. They have looked fantastic at the start of the season. Second most chances created for a side that played awful, pragmatic, defensive, restrictive football under Nuno. Spirito Santo, and now Bruno Lage. 3 games in, it's completely transformed their attack, in my opinion, in how they play and how much more progressive that they do look, and how much more exciting, and unleash the likes of Adama, Francisco Trincao. Don't worry, I know you guys are there, but they don't score enough goals. I believe that Raul Jimenez will come back, and he will slowly. It's going to take him a while. It's more of the mental fatigue, the mental factor, getting over the injury. But once he gets his first goal, whether it comes off of his knee like a Jack Grealish, or if he slaps it into the top corner, or from a penalty, I think that's where he will kick on. So Raul Jimenez to kick on and help, and not necessarily get to the level that he was previously, but be close and do enough for Wolves. And he will get a lot more chances than he was when he was at his best. So maybe if he does return to his best, he'll score a lot more goals too. So I have gone for Wolves in 11th. And in 10th, sorry, I keep looking over here. I've got my extra bits of notes here. In 10th position, I have gone for West Ham. And the main reason for that is the Europa League. I don't think that many people, West Ham have had a brilliant start to the season, don't get me wrong. But when the Europa League starts to come, who's their backup striker? Yeah, silence. I had to leave a moment of silence there because it is no one. Mikel Antonio, we know how brilliant he is if he can stay fit. Big if, though, because his fitness record has proven to be quite bad. He doesn't play that many games in a season, as many as you'd want for an important player like him, with the number 9 on his back, top scorer in the Premier League. With those amount of games coming in September, October, November, and then the December period, can you rely on Mikel Antonio to stay fit? I'm not too sure about that one. So it's going to be, and that is their striker. Where do their goals come from if Mikel Antonio's not playing up front? They don't have a backup. They're going to have to sit the likes of Yarmolenko, Ben Rama as a false 9, Fornals, Jared Bowen. They do look exciting. They are attacking. I do think that they will finish 10th for that reason for the Europa League. And I do think they could go quite far in the Europa League if they take it seriously. So, yeah. In 9th position, and I actually put them 6th, in my previous video, but I'm going for Aston Villa. I do think that they will struggle to get these players gelling quickly. Initially, I'd say by Christmas, you'd probably see them in the 13th, 14th, maybe this area. And you'd be like, oh, they're going to have a poor season. But when the players do start to, click, that's when Buendia, the quality that he possesses in a creative aspect, Bailey, if he can settle into the Premier League and kick on in terms of his career, and then Danny Ings will score minimum 10 to 15 goals at least, as long as he stays fit throughout the majority of the season too. Even if not, you got Ollie Watkins as a good Premier League striker and played for England in the England International. So yeah, I do think Villa will go in 9th for that reason. In 8th, sorry, I've got extra notes here, and this is for the teams there. 8th, I've gone for a bit higher than you, Fadsley. I've gone for Everton. Rafa Benitez, I do think that he can really generate enough points, more than Ancelotti. I think that the defensive style that he will play, the counter-attacking style, will end up being more efficient and productive for this squad in terms of picking up points. So keep your eye out for Everton. I do think that they will have a good season. There will be that dark horse for that Europa League spot, maybe, if they can keep the likes of Richarlison, Calvert-Lewin fit. And, if James Rodriguez comes back, which I don't think he will, even without him, I think they'll be okay. So, yeah, I just don't think they'll have enough, though. In 7th position, I've gone for my boys, Arsenal Football Club. Arsenal fans, would you be happy with 7th? Do you know what? If Arsenal finish 7th this season, like, you're giving me that, I'd take it, given the squad that we have and the situation we are currently in. But the inexperience that our manager has, our squad, the recruitment that we have had, Aaron Ramsdale may become a first-choice goalkeeper at some point. The right back, Tomiyasu, this is first season for him. We have a lot of new signings. And what we've seen from Chelsea, when they do have a lot of new signings, they do take a while to adjust and to build that chemistry, which is why I've gone for Villa in 9th. you could probably say that Villa have a more settled squad than Arsenal, but I do think that once Arsenal start picking up points, you can see us going on a run. You could see us going on a run on like 10 games undefeated. Not wins, not 10 wins, because if we went on a run of 10 wins in a row, we'd be fighting for the Champions League. But yeah, 10 games undefeated. I think you could see Arsenal go at one point in the season. So yeah, I have gone for Arsenal in 7th. Maybe you guys are thinking a bit too high. As an Arsenal fan, Creambone, let me know. I would be happy with it. I'd be happy if you give me 7th. Would you keep Arteta in the job after 7th? It totally depends on other factors, performances, results. If we get battered again, I'm not taking it. And if we finish 7th in a quite competitive Premier League season, I'll take it. If we improve in points, there's loads of little things involved. I'll probably go into much more depth on a watch along. I'm doing an Arsenal Norwich watch along for when that game plays as well. In 6th position, though, I have gone for Tottenham. You know, Harry Kane, Son, Nuno's had a brilliant start. They are top of the league. They do have a better first 11 than Arsenal. I don't really want to go in too much on Tottenham and give them that much praise. Defensively, they look a lot more resolute and solid, and the system that Nuno has produced and played and made for them suits their squad profile for me, with the likes of Japhet Tanganga, Davinson Sanchez, Eric Dyer, Christian Romero there now. The left back, Reguilon, who's going to go forward, and the right back will be a little bit more reserved, who will tuck in, kind of like what Tomiyasu and Tierney will have as well, or Chambers, or whoever plays at right back for Arsenal, Ainsley Maitland-Niles, etc. So yeah, they do have a better squad, and the fact they're in Europa Conference League, they won't really need to be exerting their first team, where they won't. I don't think so anyway. They'll probably qualify and make it as even far as like the semi-finals without their first team, and it'll be enough to get them above Arsenal, I believe. In 5th position, though, I have gone for Leicester. You know, they have been quite impressive. I do really rate their signings. Patson Daka, Boubacar Samare, 2 players that you need to look out for. I forgot I haven't done the key players in that either. Apologies for that. Let me go for the quick key players for Wolves. Key player for Wolves is Raul Jimenez, and the breakthrough player is Francisco Trincao. Keep an eye out for him. He's had a brilliant start to the season, looked impressive against Manchester United. West Ham, key player, Mikel Antonio, making sure he stays fit. If he stays fit if Mikel Antonio plays 30 games, I'd probably say they finish above Arsenal, you know, and Arsenal drop down to 8th, etc. And the other teams trickle down. But I don't think that was going to happen. So yeah, player to look out for, breakthrough player, Said Benrahma. I said him at the start too. I said him in my previous prediction video, and I'm glad that's come through. Just wish I went for it and put him in my fantasy football team. Aston Villa's key player, I've gone for Emi Buendia. I think Danny Ings will score goals. He scored 10 goals minimum, and it's all dependent on Buendia if he can create those good opportunities for him. So Buendia is the key player for me. Player to look, breakthrough player this season. I think you'll hear a lot of him, and he may even get an England call up at some point. Matty Cash. Really rate this guy. 2-way fullback. Defensively, I mean, that way's defensively. Defensively sound, 1v1. You ain't getting past him. Going forward, he's got the cross to do it as well. It's just I'm in love with Matty Cash. With his, I would take him at Arsenal. That's the right back I wanted. Would we have got him for 20 million? No, probably not, because he's English and he's at Aston Villa. Arsenal, key player. Keeping this guy fit is Thomas Partey. As long as we keep this guy fit, you could say Aubameyang too. He needs to get back to his previous form, to his previous best for Arsenal to have a good season to compete for the Champions League. But that, no matter what, we've seen Aubameyang score 22 goals and finish outside of the Champions League position. But Thomas Partey, stay fit and keep at the level that you've shown at Atletico Madrid and in the friendlies. I know it's friendlies, but in the friendlies, guys, if you were watching them games, Creambone, you'll be able to vouch for me. He was looking unreal. So, yeah, hopefully get Thomas Partey back fit and ready. Tottenham, Harry Kane, and breakthrough player, Oliver Skipp. And so, yeah, Leicester, back to Leicester, the key player is Jamie Vardy. And the breakthrough player for me is Boubacar Samare. I do think that he will eventually take over Wilfred Ndidi, as Wilfred Ndidi will make a move to a bigger club and a team fighting for league titles. He will eventually make that next step in his career. And I think Boubacar Samare is a brilliant replacement for him. In 4th position, so in the top 4 now, this is where it gets really interesting. Fadsley, I am going to say sorry because I know you support Manchester United. Manchester United in fourth. I'll pick the positions first, and I'll give you my reasons why. Liverpool in third. You guessed it. It's either Chelsea or Man City. Let's make this a bit of a drum roll. Before I go into first and actually, let's build a little bit of suspense. Before I go into first and second, the reason I've gone for Manchester United to finish below Liverpool is that midfield. I know it speaks a lot. It speaks volumes. Cristiano Ronaldo, yeah, he will score goals. And he will change the way that your team attacks. Everything will have to go through Cristiano Ronaldo. He won't give you much defensive pressures. So when you are playing against the big teams away from home, yeah, or when you are playing against the big teams at home, you're not going to be seeing the same counter-attacking football that we've previously seen under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, where he's played Rashford up front, Martial, who does more defensive work than Ronaldo, believe it or not. And Mason Greenwood, who puts in a defensive shift, which is why you've seen him play on the right, and Ollie trusting him in big games from that right-hand side. I do think that he will kind of change how Man United play. Ultimately, he will score enough goals, and you may win a trophy this season. I don't think Ronaldo won't be happy finishing fourth with Manchester United this season, but that is where I think he will finish, unless Liverpool have serious injuries. So your key player, Manchester United, Cristiano Ronaldo, your breakthrough player. I think everybody knows now. My love for Mason Greenwood. I'm not going to go much further. Mason Greenwood, the breakthrough player. Liverpool's key player is Virgil van Dijk. He stays fit for the majority of the season. Mo Salah will continue to score goals. Mane is probably another player that you need to be on top form for them to finish above Manchester United this season. But the camaraderie, the managerial quality difference between Ollie and Jurgen Klopp with players fit. I think they only finished 6 points. Manchester United fans, Liverpool finished 6 points last season with Reece Williams and Nat Phillips at the back. Yeah. Fadsley, you brought it there. I know I've missed a few of your comments, but this one just literally broke through. And just like that, Jota breakthrough player. No, it's not for me. My breakthrough player is actually Harvey Elliott. And he was previous to this season beginning too. I know if you're watching this and you've not watched my previous one, please someone vouch for me. I said Harvey Elliott, a breakthrough player. Yeah, I have. I know I seem like I'm not reaching for things here, but you know what? I really do rate Harvey Elliott. And from what I've seen from him live as well, I saw it was a free kick. It was for Wolves under 23s. Was it under 23s? Yeah, not a free kick, corner. Man, one scored from a corner at the Molineux. Yeah, the guy is ridiculously talented. Made his first team debut. Was it 15 or 16? I think he was 15 for Fulham. Yo, the kid's a baller, man. Harvey Elliott is a baller. Liverpool fans, you've got a real gem on your hands there. But yeah, that's the reason why I've gone for Liverpool to finish above Man United. The defensive quality, they will score enough goals. I just think they're a better team. Do you know what I mean? Like, Liverpool fans, you'll be happy to hear that. Manchester United, you won't be so happy, as you feel like you probably have the better individuals. But it's a team game at the end of the day. In second place, I've gone for Manchester City, and in first, Chelsea. Big reason for that. I do think that Manchester City will miss that striker. Yeah. That striker for Manchester City is massive. It is key. Yeah. In certain games, in the bigger games, against the likes of Chelsea, Liverpool, Manchester United, I think that missing striker, that finisher, that prolific finisher in the box will cause them to suffer, and they will drop points. Whereas Chelsea, we've already seen them, 10 men pick up a point away at Anfield. Man City, if they do that, they'll be happy with the team that Liverpool have available. I know they won 4-1, but under different circumstances. Manchester United, I think they'll beat Manchester United 2. I think they will defend, and Manchester United's attacking style will just be easy for Chelsea to mop up and defend against. Liverpool, when they play Manchester City, we've already seen what Thomas Tuchel can do to Pep Guardiola and the mind games that he can get Pep into those problems. So, yeah, for me, Chelsea, Lukaku now, they've got the goal scorer. They've got the midfield. They've got the depth in midfield too with Soundigez, Jorginho, Kante, Kovacic. Boy, that midfield's a joke. And then the defence, Thiago Silva, Tony Rudiger, Andres Christensen, Trevor Chalobah, Aspilicueta can slot in there too, Reece James, Chilwell, Alonso, Edouard Mendy. They're going to win the league for me. Chelsea. I don't. If Man City are going to win the league, fair play. And those of you that call it, fair play too. But Chelsea to win the league for me, in my opinion. Before I give you my top goal scorer, let's have a look at the comments right here. I missed on quite a few. Let me just go. Grace saying hello. Yes, Grace. I think G Potter is. Here we go about Creambone. I think Graham Potter is a really good manager, but the Arsenal job too big for him. Nah. Creambone, we're gonna have to agree to disagree on this. Nah, honestly. Would you say the Arsenal job was too big for Arsene Wenger? I know it's a big shout. I know. But I'm linking Graham Potter and Arsene Wenger together. You know what? For that one, I need to take a sip of water because that's a bit too far. But yeah, basically, my point is when Arsene Wenger took over, have you read his book? I've been listening to his book recently. What were Arsenal fans saying? Arsenal who? Why are we getting this manager no one's ever heard of? Nah, surely this job's a bit too big. And the rest was history. Graham Potter is good enough for me. I'm a big fan of his. I'd take him at the Arsenal. Yes, Ed. Oh, she had a chicken parmo. I had a parmo for my tea. Haven't had one in like a couple of weeks, so it's needed. I think it's a tradition, you know, Grace. You have a parmo whenever you watch this stream. When you see me, it's just fate. It's meant to be. When am I having my chicken parmo? That's what I want. Did you get that ordered in, or did somebody make it, or did you make it? Let me know. Wolves above Leeds. No, Vadsley. I've gone for it, man. People are going to think I'm mad, but don't be surprised if Leeds challenge for Europa. I don't think you're mad. A lot of people like Leeds. A lot of people rate them. I do think Leeds are overrated too, in terms of, yeah, I do think they're overrated. So I'll just leave that there. I'll probably go into it in a bit more depth in the future. Wolves basically, like the last year, Brighton have one of the highest XG, but they don't score. I do think Raul Jimenez is a better striker than Neil Maupay, Danny Welbeck, Aaron Connolly. And we're going to have to see what Hwang Hee-chan does as well. I know it's a big boots to fill. He's got to score like 10 goals. But yeah, nah. Maybe we'll wait and see. Fadsley, this is why I enjoy you here, man. You had different opinions and I love your input because it is well balanced. And I understand, and I totally see your points too. Like, it's just about opinions. And Fadsley, what I want you to do at the end of this year, once you finish this video, write your prediction in the comments and I'll make sure to put this in the future. Yeah. And then we'll go head to head. And that's the same for all of you people too. Tell me your bottom three, your top four, your top six, shall I say, top six. And then, yeah, who's going to win the league there? Leicester. Oh, sorry. I'm having a mess up here. Leicester either in 8th or 9th. Oh, Leicester, Grace. That's a big shout, you know. I love these shouts. I'm going to remember them. Baby Oil Adama will dribble past 11 players, yet will miss the open goal. Pardon, excuse me. that guy has no end product. Give Alan Saint-Maximin the body of Adama. He'll be great. To be fair, Alan Saint-Maximin is probably as quick as Adama, just not as strong or powerful. Hey, Grace, Creambone's after you there. No way, Leicester finishing that low. Sorry, can't see it. Actually, I do see them in 7th. She's moved them up a bit now. Yeah, more like it. James Rodriguez, don't even know what team Everton player. I did see him say that. To be honest, T, as much as I like Arteta, I can't see him being there at the end of the season. I know I do like Arteta too. I know I was just like kind of seeming like I was going a bit mad, but that's just how much I rate Graham Potter, and I would take him. But I'm happy. I'm actually quite happy. No, I'm not happy with Arteta's performance. But I do think that he can. I just have hope and a lot of hope in him and hope. And I do see the potential in Arteta. It's just whether it will become realised. I really genuinely think Conte will take over. Wow. I don't think so. Massively disagree with you there. It doesn't make sense for Conte to come over and take over in this squad. In this predicament, the project that he does have, the lack of investment that he will get, and the fact that we'll have to reinvest as like more, probably about twice, double the money that we've paid already for these players. We'll have to do that, yeah, for like better players and more experience, because that's what Conte does. He's here to win now. Do you know what I mean, Creambone? It just doesn't make sense. I don't understand why the board would go this way and then sack him off halfway through the season and then go a completely different way. Yeah, nah, doesn't make sense for me. But that's the Arsenal board for you. It's just a matter of time until Antonio pulls the hamstring. Yes, I agree. Yeah, Creambone agrees too. Sorry, Fadsley. Liverpool third, Manchester City second, Chelsea. Yo, Grace, you know it, yeah? That's what I've gone for as well. Midfield, we got Fredinho, Jota, breakthrough. What was it? I've just missed quite a few comments that way. There we go. Elliot, wow, you can't be saying that, man. He's better than Curtis Jones. Now, Curtis Jones had too much hype. Elliot's actually quality, man. Yo, Fadsley, he's... Yes, bro, just finished work. Good to see you. Nice to see you here too. Thank you for joining, Jake. Chelsea, you're happy. Fadsley, who will get more goals, Lukaku or Ronaldo? Big shout, big shout. And that leads me to my top goal scorer. Cristiano Ronaldo will finish top goal scorer in the league. I know it's not like, oh, he's gone out there, it's a bit rogue, but yeah. He will take all the penalties. You know how much penalties Man United win to? He's going to take all of them now. He's going to take all the free kicks, so he might even bang one of them in. I know with his free kick technique, it's, yeah, a bit dodgy. Yeah. Now, Ronaldo, top goal scorer for me. 28 goals this season. Depends how Ronaldo starts off. So I say Lukaku. Lukaku's only got one ahead of him so far, you know. So Ronaldo will score at least 2 hat-tricks in the Premier League. Oh, I'm saying that now. Where did you position Wolves? I did position Wolves in 11th, Jake. Hopefully you like that one. Let me know what you think. Wolves in 11th position. Nah, Fadsley, you're getting too gas, man. You're getting gas. Nah, it's not happening. I'm sorry, Fadsley, bro. Yo, big man, it's not happening. You're not winning the league. It's going to kick off. He knows it. He knows it. Your time will come very soon. But I did get it ordered in. Thank you. Was it nice? Was it one of your best Parmos? Let me know. So Grace has gone Chelsea first, Manchester City second, Liverpool fourth, Liverpool third, Man United fourth, Tottenham fifth, West Ham sixth. Okay, big shout there. Tish saying West Ham are doing well this season. Mark my words, top 7. Tish, Creambone, Fadsley, Jake, Ed, Grace. I'm holding your predictions here, you know. I'm holding, because I do agree with Fadsley here. West Ham will suffer from the squad depth. They're not finishing like they did last season. And guys, do you know what? I've reached the bottom of the comments. It took me a while. Keep your comments rolling in. I'll probably stay on for another 2 minutes. Yeah. But whilst I do that, let's run through the formality. If you are new here, please hit that subscribe button. Click on the notification bell for more videos and for more streams like this. As you can see, I'm sweating. I've been here for an hour. Yeah. It's 8:30. I'm getting ready for bed. I know it sounds early, like I'm a 2-year-old, but yeah, I do go to the gym early in the mornings, you see, so I can prepare for these videos after work and just really dedicate this time, like chatting with you guys. I'm hopefully aiming to grow this channel as much as I can. I do thoroughly enjoy it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm here sweating, baking off, yeah. And the debates we've had, Creambone, Graham Potter, Fadsley saying United are going to win the league, yeah. Grace chatting about the chicken parmo, yeah. Oh, beautiful, yeah. Ed having that, throwing Burnley in there too. Guys, I love it, and I hope to see more of you. If you are watching this later, that's okay. I'm going to interact with you in the comments. In the description, I do have my social media links too, so go check them out. Leave a like, subscribe, comment, and for more. Is there any more comments from you people that I need to go through? Question for Fadsley. So you're going to do a watch along for the Arsenal game? Yes, I will. I will be doing more watch alongs too. I'll have a look at the fixtures. When I do my preview towards the end of the week on Friday, my Premier League preview will come out. I will do a watch along. And you know what, Fadsley? You jump in there. You give me your suggestions. What do you want to do? What watch along do you want to see for what game? Let me know. I'll put it on. I don't mind any game. Like I'm watching all the games anyway. So yeah, showing love. Grace showing some love. Love these streams. I really do. I'm glad you find them entertaining. Honestly, I love them. Like, chatting to you guys. I've not met a lot of you in person yet, and you know what? We're going to have to do that one day. Dream big, but you know what? I'm glad that we're here. This is just the start, people. Just the start. Share this to your friends. Get them involved. You know what? Because I'm loving it. I love the interaction, the banter, everything. Throw banter at me. You know, I can take it. Throw any. Yo, this is what it's about. Creambone, thanks for another great show, Team Money. Thank you for joining Creambone and everyone else. Obviously, Grace wants the Chelsea game. Of course, I want to see Ronaldo destroying Newcastle. That's a 3 o'clock kickoff. You know what though, Fadsley, I will be able to see the goals for that. I will be able to like project them to you. You know what I mean? And I will see. They will show the goals to you. I think they can like go on a couple. Like they show a couple of games and that. Yeah, here in America, but. Yeah, could never get the game, so I watch the watch logs. Oh, that's all right, Grace. I will do that commentary for you. Chelsea, who are they playing this weekend? It's Villa. Yeah, you got Villa in 2 games in a row, I believe. Yes, I do believe you have Villa. Am I right? I know Arsenal got Norwich because that's like our biggest game of the season. Lee Mack opinions. So you know what, Jake? Before I go, I know I spent quite long on this now, but I'm going on my Instagram because Jay, just on Instagram, follow me, Tariq Talks, throw me some banter on there as well. Send me DMs, let me know. But yeah, you sent me a meme saying goals at Premier League grounds this season. Lee Mack, he scored against England in Soccer Raid. Lee Mack 1, Arsenal 0. Look at Jake, man. Why are you kicking a man that's already down? Creambone, sort him out. Anyone, an Arsenal fan watching this, have a word. At least 1-1 or 1-0. That's what you always go for, Grace. That's your prediction, and that's what you always get right. You went for the 2-0 when the first watch long you joined here against Chelsea. You went for the 2-0 for that one, got that right. And then Liverpool, Chelsea, you got that right too. Are you going to make it 3 in a row? 3 in a row? We'll have to wait and see. Thank you so much, guys. I'm going to wrap it up here. I've totally enjoyed this. Stay tuned. I do drop these live streams quite infrequently in terms of there's no real time and date. I just do it when I've got time, basically. So yeah, stay tuned, people. If you do want to follow me on my socials, you'll be able to be in the loop a lot more and further ahead. Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, all below. Let me know, people. Creambone, bring it, Jake. Exactly. I got my Arsenal crew here, my Gooner crew. One last comment before I go. I've already had 3 in a row from the other game too. Oh, which one was that? You got the Liverpool, you got the Arsenal Chelsea, the Liverpool Chelsea. And then, what other watch long have I done here? Nah, it wasn't Man City. You didn't guess that one. Was it? Nah, I can't remember. You have to let me know in the comments because I'm going to have to wrap up now. But thank you so much, people. Look after yourself. Enjoy it. Have a good night. Enjoy the rest of your night. Wherever you're watching, have a good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. That's a good way to end it off.